Welcome to another VeChain update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our Discord server where we post like 1,000,000 updates a day. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So VeChain is still doing absolutely nothing. As you can see, it's currently going down. We just hit a new low of the second wave right here, and we are actually below the 0.6 minute extension that I gave you, which means that it's gonna be likely that we just invalidate the 1-2 setup if we do not stay above this level. As you can see, this is also the 50% extension of this much larger 1-2 setup, so if we do not manage to hold this level, it's likely that we drop below the 0.786 as well, which is at about 4.1 cents. And if we do that, we'll most likely drop below this low as well, and that would not be the best thing ever. So what I need to hope for right now is that VeChain manages to hold the support level. If we manage to hold the support level, then the next target is at about 8 cents. That's the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup. That should complete a third wave. Then of course we will need a fourth wave move down and then a fifth wave move up, and these 5 waves will complete the fifth wave of the first wave of the main third wave move to the upside, which is up here. And after we complete the first wave move, we will need a second wave move down, which could happen extremely quick just because I'm expecting an altcoin season in January. Well, I'm expecting it to start in January. I'm not expecting it to end in January, of course, but it could start by, let's say, January 20th or so, and we'll see if that happens or not. Now in this video I actually want to talk about something else because VeChain is not doing too much right now. I actually want to talk about the Ethereum monthly returns chart. And why is this important? Well, because if we want to get an altcoin season, Ethereum needs to start going up. The altcoins do not usually go up on their own. I mean, as you can see here, in November, Ethereum went up like 47%. And what do you know? During that time, the altcoins had the best time of their lives. Some altcoins went up like 400% during that time. So imagine what happens if Ethereum keeps doing this. Well, you're not gonna have to imagine for too long because we are in a halving year right now, and what we're doing in this halving year looks very similar to what we did in the 2016 halving year. So if we check out what happened here, as you can see here, we closed a red wick in December, and if we look at what happened in the post-halving year after that red wick in December, we went up about 32% in January, and then look at this, another 48% in February, another 200% in March, another 67% in April, another 160% in May, and yeah, you get the idea. Ethereum started going absolutely crazy in the post-halving year. Now, maybe this is a coincidence. Let's check out what happened in the next halving year. In 2020, Ethereum actually closed a green wick in December, and if we look at what happened in the post-halving year, as you can see here, it also went up about 78% in January. So in each post-halving year, Ethereum went up quite a lot. Here it went up 31% and here it went up 78%, which leads me to believe that we will go up a lot in January of the post-halving year, which, I mean, it's gonna start in like 2 days. Now, of course, you cannot expect a pump exactly on January 1st, but judging by what happened in the previous 2 post-halving years, maybe it's likely that we have a 30% pump in January, and if we do get that, that would put Ethereum at about $4,500. Also, if we get a 30% pump, imagine what will happen to the altcoins. I mean, here, Ethereum had a 47% pump, when Bitcoin was also going up and when Bitcoin dominance was actually going down a bit, and during that time some altcoins, like I said, went up like 400%. Now imagine what happens when Ethereum does something like this again and it goes up every single month, and it goes up like 78%, then another 10%, then another 35%. Things are about to get insane in my opinion. Also, if you look at what happened in the previous few years in January, Ethereum always seems to go up a lot in January. So here, in the post-halving year, it went up 32%. In 2018, it went up 52%. 2019 was a bear market, so of course it went down. In 2020, which was a halving year, it went up 39%. In 2029, which was a post-halving year, it went up 78%. Then 2022 was another bear market. 2023 was also a bear market, but here it actually went up. And 2024, I mean, can you even count this as a red wick? Because it's only 0.13%, so this could have been green. So But this was also a halving year. So yeah, if you compare this halving year to what happened in 2020, it's not looking too good. However, keep in mind, we don't have data for 2016, and maybe this would have been red as well, so who knows? All I wanted to know is that Ethereum usually goes up in January of the post-halving year. Well, not only in the post-halving year, it usually goes up in January if we are not in a bear market, so things are about to get very bullish. And again, why am I telling you this? Well, because if Ethereum starts going up, that's when the altcoins will also start going up. Keep in mind, I'm still expecting Ethereum to top somewhere between, let's say, $8,000 and maybe even $12,000 on this cycle. Maybe even more, maybe like 15,000 or so. It's possible in my opinion, at least judging this based on what happened in the previous cycles and judging this based on how Bitcoin dominance looks. I mean, Bitcoin dominance looks like it's about to break down extremely soon, and I've already explained why many times. If you don't know why, you should watch my previous VeChain videos, or actually my previous altcoin videos. I talk about this very often. And yeah, it's only a matter of time until Bitcoin dominance starts doing something like this. I'm still expecting Bitcoin dominance to hit about 40% by the end of next year, let's say. And of course, I think Bitcoin dominance will top somewhere between, let's say, January and August of 2026. However, I'm expecting the bear market to start in November or maybe December of 2025, so you should not wait until 2026 if you want to sell, obviously. Now, that's not financial advice, of course. Now, going back to the VeChain chart, if you look at the weekly RSI, it has actually cooled off quite a lot. We were overbought here, the RSI was 80, and right now we are not overbought anymore, and the RSI is at like 55, and we are very close to getting to the moving average, and maybe VeChain will actually use this as support and it will bounce off of it. We'll see if that happens or not. And this is looking very good so far. Now let me remind you what we are doing. So in the previous cycle, VeChain went up in a 1, 2, 3 setup to form a first wave move. Yeah, this is only a 3-wave move. I cannot really count 5 waves here, but it's still a first wave. And the bear market was an ABC down, which was a second wave move. And right now we are working on the third wave of this 1-2 setup, which will obviously not be finished in this cycle. It will most likely be finished in like 5 cycles or so, and I cannot guarantee that we will actually get there because, I mean, nobody knows if VeChain will be able to survive the next couple of bear markets, but if it does, well, let's not focus on that. Let's actually focus on what VeChain needs to do in this cycle. So we need to form some kind of 5-wave move to the upside right now because we are working on the first wave of the main third wave to the upside, which is literally up here. So yeah, this cycle will not be anything too crazy. In this cycle, we only work on the first wave of the third wave. However, we should still be able to break the previous all-time highs in my opinion. Now, if we go on the daily chart, like I said, we already have a 1-2 setup on the chart. And right now we are working on the third wave of this 1-2 setup. The minimum target for the third wave is 23 cents. We'll see if we get there or not. I mean, the first wave move to the upside has already been quite bullish and it's not even in. I mean, this is only a 1, 2, 3, 4 setup, so I'm still expecting a 5th wave move. Now, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe there are 5 waves somewhere here, but I cannot really count them. We'll see if that's the case or not once we get a huge bounce to the upside. If we get another high in the 5th wave and then we do not go down, then maybe it's safe to say that this right here was actually the top for the first wave up here, and this was the second wave move down, and that we are actually heading in a third wave to the upside right here. But I cannot confirm that yet, and also the wave count does not look complete, but we'll see. I mean, I can try counting 5 waves, but I don't really want to because, you know, it would not look the best, but we'll see. Now, if we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is actually going down, which is a bit interesting because I was expecting Bitcoin to be at 120k by the end of the year. That did not happen. We did not really copy what we did in the previous halving years. If you can remember what we did in 2020, for example, in 2020, Bitcoin went up like 47%. In 2016, it went up like 30%. So it would only make sense to consider that, you know, maybe Bitcoin will also go up like 30% in the cycle in the halving year, but it turns out that's not the case. Bitcoin is actually going down right now, which is a bit weird, but you know, it's Bitcoin, so of course it's not going to copy every single thing it does. And we'll see what happens in January. I mean, January is usually a good month for Bitcoin. Well, not if you look at this, but in the previous couple of years, it has been a good month. So we'll see if we actually start going up. And even if we don't, I mean, Ethereum is still expected to go up and Bitcoin dominance is expected to go up. So Bitcoin is not really that important right now. All that Bitcoin needs to do is it needs to hold the support zone right here, and it needs to stay above the bull market support band, which is at $80,000. Now keep in mind, I'm still expecting it to get to new all-time highs, so we should be good here. And VeChain should still be able to get somewhere between, let's actually see, somewhere between 34 cents and about 56 cents in this cycle, but it could go even higher than that. It could even hit $1 in a more bullish scenario, but don't get too greedy and make sure to take profits along the way. And yeah, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our Discord server where we post multiple updates a day. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.